Hello, everyone. I am Shahu and I'm back with another episode of CrackIT, all about campus placements. And today with us, we have Akashrao Vallapuneni, who is lovingly known as Akash. Akash is currently in his final year of engineering in electronics and telecommunication and is placed in KPIT. Speaking about Akash, sitting in front of us is one of the brightest minds in E&TC department, a robotics enthusiast and also the current team lead of the Team Cipher. Previously also, we have had many of the prominent members of Cipher with us. But today we have that one person who keeps all the cogs of Cipher moving smoothly. So with that, let us begin our today's episode with Akash. Hi Akash, how are you doing? How does it feel to be with us today?
Hi Cheryl, I'm doing great, and it feels really exciting because since this is a new thing that we are doing.
Right. Do you think it will really help our juniors and how does it feel, that,
Yes,
sitting with us here?
yes, I believe it will really help our juniors because, frankly, even I wish that my seniors would have done some similar things for us. So yes.
Right, right. So we're absolutely happy that you're with us today, Akash, and I hope we have a great interview and a conversation with you today.
Yeah, sure. Same here.
So let us begin. My first question for you is, from when did you start preparing for your placements?
Okay, so I actually started preparing from May or June, something like that, during my end of the third year. Like there was a time when Borde sir came and he took a meeting with all of us to give us kind of wake up calls that "Utho abhi karna hai tumhe prepare." So like kind of from them, but like in my case, I was kind of already prepared for most of the programming related stuff because I have been involved in different projects and all. So I didn't really get into like daily 6 to 7 hours of something like that preparation, but I did some basic revision of aptitude. Then I practiced a few different kind of questions depending on what kind of company I'm applying for. Then a little bit of coding practice as well, since practice makes any man perfect. So yeah.
So talking about you, Akash, you've been coding like I think from the first year, and still you're saying that practice makes a man perfect. I think that's how humble you are, and that's how you believe in consistency and practice. Akash, and I see that you have been slowly, gradually preparing for placement, not exactly for placement. I think you have been gradually preparing yourself to be a more employable candidate than just preparing you for placement. Like you're that candidate who's like I want this candidate, and not that a candidate who says this company is for me, like something like that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's very nice to know that because we always hear last minute rush, but yours was a very slow, gradual preparation of an entire personality. Very nice to hear that, Akash.
Yeah.
So talking about KPIT, KPIT is one of the dream companies for any E&TC student, and it is. And so I want to ask: is it only for E&TC, or other branches can also apply?
No, it's definitely not only for E&TC. You see, KPIT is into automobile field. They are like they have that tag. They are automobileviers. So that's what they call themselves. So if you take an example of an automobile, there goes mechanical, most biggest part, mechanical stuff into it. Then there comes automotive electronics related stuff, like E&TC engineers and electrical students might know this, that there's a different kind of thing which is power electronics and all that related things. Then again, if like the most trending thing that nowadays we see from Elon Musk, let's say Tesla, so that is autonomous driving. So KPIT is into it as well, in both electrical vehicles and autonomous driving as well. So in autonomous driving, what will come? So like there's all different kinds of fields are required, starting from machine learning and AI or deep learning to embedded engineers, that is electronics people and electrical people as well, till the mechanical people who actually know how the vehicle works mechanically. So yeah, it's a broad perspective, and everyone is required. So it's not only limited to E&TC.
So computer and IT is also included in that,
Yeah, yeah,
though
yes.
it's an automobile kind of an industry.
Yeah, E&TC, CSIT, mechanical, and of course electrical as well. All of these are
Okay,
included.
so I think apart from civil, all of the students can
That's
apply, right? Yeah,
yeah, that's an exception.
yeah. Okay. So, how many rounds were there in KPIT?
So originally there were a total of 3 rounds, but later they kind of omitted the last round, which was interview. So that's a very different kind of thing that happened with us. So there were total 2 rounds to summarize. The first round was actually divided into 2 parts, section A and section B. Like section A was kind of common for everyone, for each and every branch. It consisted of basic aptitude, then engineering, mathematics, and that related stuff. And the second round was a little more on towards your core engineering branch. Sorry, second part of the first round. And then the second round was coding round. That was specifically why, because they kind of came for that related stuff only. Like if you are from mechanical, you'll probably have something different. Uh, yeah,
Okay. So there was a little mix of everything in that one round.
yeah, definitely.
So, since you wrote in section B, I think aptitude and all is very common, which I think everybody prepares for. B college also provides a training, but section B was a little more particular towards the branch. So since your branch is electronics and telecommunication, what were the important subjects and topics that were asked in KPIT?
Yeah. So, first of all, I'd like to mention that in the first round's first part, that is section A, of course, there was APT, but there was one more unusual thing that generally I didn't see in any kind of companies, and that was engineering mathematics. So yeah, you need to prepare for maths as well. That is the first point that I will highlight. Of course, you don't need to like go into too much details, but like basic concepts of like let's say matrices, linear differential equations, and all of those M1, M2, M3 subjects. Like basic stuff you should know. So and then you'll easily be able to clear that round. So coming on towards the core related subjects. So from E&TC, there was a little bit about microcontrollers. Embedded systems in general, microcontrollers, then control systems and signal processing, very important. Then there was analog and digital electronics as well. That is, of course, one must know. Then network theory, network or circuit theory, whatever you might call it. Uh, and yeah, I guess that was it. And a little bit of C programming as well, just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did you prepare these concepts from? I see there's a vast range of subjects. Of course, they are there in our syllabus as well, but were there any particular sources that you refer, any websites or any courses that you recommend students to take up if they're preparing for KPIT?
Yeah. Okay. So talking about like I'll specifically focus on first embedded systems, the microcontrollers part. If you see about microcontrollers, our college's course include 8051 PIC, then LPC 2148, all these microcontrollers. So you can definitely like if you paid attention in your classes, then you'll definitely just need to revise a little bit, and then you can directly search on Google for MCQ questions on that. Like let's say India Bix has a lot of variety of questions, MCQs for each and every kind of stuff, ranging from aptitude to your each and every subject. So that is one good website that you can refer. Then yeah, a little bit off the shelf, like out of syllabus things that were came. It included like everyone must be knowing about Arduino by now. So Arduino is basically a microcontroller which is based off AVR architecture. So AVR is what is behind it. So that AVR, then ARM Cortex. So these microcontrollers, if you know just a little bit about it as well, then it will be good. And there are very nice courses on embedded systems on Udemy platform. So one can definitely refer to it if they want to develop themselves in it. And yeah, of course, like if you start developing yourself in something, you'll automatically be able to answer all these questions in the assessment rounds of KPIT. So yeah.
Okay. So network theory and all, our course syllabus is enough?
Yeah, it's more than enough. Like there isn't any IIT JEE kind of thing, so
Okay.
it's like basic stuff. Yeah.
So basically, if you just type in like network theory or
network
embedded
theory, but
system
also
and the
signals and systems. So basic MCQs of these that you get on IndiaPix or different kind of website if you or Sand Foundry, I guess. So
yeah,
if you prepare that, that is enough.
we're busy
That
enough. Okay,
yeah
okay.
yeah
Okay, so I see there are a lot of core kind of thing which is there involved in KPIT. But I think it is also based on the choice that you made, right? You made a
yeah
choice
exactly.
to go for E&TC, an electronics kind of thing. Can
Yeah
we choose some other domains also?
yes, and in fact, I didn't choose E&TC like for that section
Okay.
B. I chose CS and IT. So actually, back then, I was a little less confident about how well I'm prepared for my core subjects. But later on, turned out that it's not the case actually. But yeah, whatever. So I opted for CS and IT part, and in it, like basic databases related questions were there. Then C++ questions were there, and then again C++. Those questions were more focused on embedded systems only. So yeah, so what you would generally program on a microcontroller, whatever concepts you'll need to program on a microcontroller, those kind of concepts would be needed to crack it. Then again, there was a computer architecture as well. So again, microprocessors related stuff. So yeah,
Okay. So be it computer IT student, be it in E&TC student, be it an electrical student, whoever is
then
it, a little bit of core electronics, that is microcontrollers, microprocessors is a must for KPIT. So
yeah,
I think
little.
interdisciplinary, be it everybody should have some knowledge about each other, right? So still now we saw IT companies wherein everyone say core is not so important, or just the basic is required. But I think here it is reverse. Even IT students need to know about their core computer architectures which they have in their syllabus as well. So generally students skip it and go for data structures and everything. But here it is opposite. Very interesting.
Structures is also included, of course. It is very
Okay.
important. Yeah.
Okay. But it was
Yes.
very different from all the previous kind of companies that we have seen so far.
Yes, yes, that's
Yes,
true. It was a little different.
yes. Okay, so Akash, let's come and speak a little about your passion now. Akash, how did your love for robotics help you with KPIT?
Okay, so obviously, like from whatever I've said till now, you must have got an idea that being a multidisciplinary approach will definitely help in anywhere, wherever you want to go with where your passion lies. So robotics is a field that includes everything. So it has a bit of electronics, it has a bit of CS and IT, it has a bit of mechanical as well. So obviously, like as I got involved more and more into robotics, I got a little idea of each and everything. More specifically, I got strong at C, C++, and Python coding. So it not only helped me for KPIT's round, but also for all the companies that I've applied so far. So everywhere it helped me. Then like whenever you are working with robots, you kind of have to deal with real life environments and that kind of stuff. So you'll have to think more. So your thinking ability, and you also need to be involved with a little bit of maths as well, so you don't go far away from your engineering. So yeah, so since I was involved in all of those, so I was kind of in touch with everything instead of losing it all. So
Yes, so even in this pandemic, when students are so struggling to be in that touch of the curriculum and the courses and to understand the concept, I think Akash, robotics helped you just be with that and go with the flow of engineering, right?
that's exactly.
Okay, that's so nice and so glad to hear about that. Uh, so, Akash, what are the basic technologies that an ENTC engineer should know and where they can acquire it? So, when I'm talking about ENTC, is because basically you're an ENTC engineer, and I'm not talking specifically about robotics. Also, I'm talking in general what an ENTC student should know.
Yeah, right. So like in general, E&TC, electronics and telecommunication. So from the name itself, you get to know that you need to know basic electronics related stuff. Like network theory is where generally everyone starts from. Then basic analog electronics, your BJTs and MOSFETs and transistors and all. Then digital electronics. So these basic subjects that were taught in our like first year and second year. So these stuff must be known to every E&TC engineer. Then of course microcontrollers related things, how to program microcontrollers a little, even if you're not an expert, even if you don't know how to use ARM or a variety of microcontrollers, you should at least know how to program a basic microcontroller. Let's say for example, at least Arduino. That's what I think. Then because if you move towards the telecommunications part, like where people get into antenna related stuff, then communication protocols and those kind of stuff. So all of those are ultimately implemented on microcontrollers nowadays. So a basic of that is also like kind of helpful. And the basic keywords like terms that an E&TC engineer must know, like what is a bandwidth, what kind of protocols are there, uh, and of course PCB designing, like your hardware skills that you need. So these kind of stuff, I think one must know, one a E&TC engineer must know. And if
Okay.
you want to learn all of these, like let's take an example of PCB designing, let's say PCB designing, soldering and all. So this is something that is not generally covered in our curriculum, at least from my batch, for SPPU's batch. So like what I'd recommend is there are many YouTube channels, many great YouTube channels. For example, there's Great Scott. Great Scott has many variety of videos. He keeps on tinkering with each and every kind of thing that he gets hands on. So that's a good place to start. Then specifically for PCB design, you can refer to Fedevel Academy. That is a YouTube channel again, Fedevel Academy, Fedevel. Then there are many websites like where people showcase and exchange their projects, or they kind of ask questions like what is this concept, how does this work and all. Like stacking exchange, like stack exchange, that website is not just for a CSIT person. There's also a separate electronicsstackexchange.com. So there you'll find various kind of things as well, and many people will be there to guide you as well. Then again, you can go for Instructables and Hackster.io and all. So yeah.
Okay, so that was very informative, Akash. That was so much of information in 1 minute, I would say.
I tried
And
to
I,
keep it as simple
I
as
know I tried to shorten it up and give our audience the most relevant topics. I'm sure our audience are going to love your these recommendations. Do check it out because they're going to be really useful to you. So,
possible.
Akash, now I would move on to some of your activities that you have done. So, Akash, you have been into many competitions like E&TRA, IIT Tech Fest, VGIT Technovenza, and so on and so forth. Would you like to share your experiences as well as learnings from these events?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that I learned, like all of those journey, like getting into competitions and participating in them and all. So all of that kind of started from my first year. Like in my first year, within the first month itself, I went for a coding competition at PICT. So there I kind of got to know whatever that we are learning, whatever like back at that time, we were probably being taught C, I think. Yeah, C++ was being taught. So how to solve problems using that. So that is what I learned from that competition. Then moving on ahead, after skipping 1 year, then I went for IIT Guwahati's competition. It was named as Escalade. It was a robotics competition. We basically needed to build a robot that would climb a pole and do some activities. So that's why the name Escalade. So like from that, what I learned was different, like since we needed to climb, so I got to know that there are the concepts that we learned from 11th and 12th, and from first year's basic mechanics and that related stuff, physics. So it got used over there. So that was something that was very interesting for me. Then the most important thing that I found out was networking. So going at those kind of places where very probably couldn't, since we are at JSPM right now. And I, of course, that's because we weren't able to crack IIT, right? So like once we go in those campuses for different kind of competitions and all, you see many people from around the country, not only country, from globe as well. Like if you go to Tech Fest, IIT Powai's Tech Fest, it is Asia's largest technical event. So obviously there are many people from outer countries as well. So in those kind of places, your networking gets built very well, and you also get to increase your personality and communication skills, since there are a variety of people who might not know Hindi or your mother tongue. So yeah, communication skills, that is one thing that I got improved. Then coming on towards E&TC was probably the most challenging competition that I ever did. E&TC's robotics challenge. So like I actually recommend that anyone who is interested in robotics or embedded systems or these kind of things, you should definitely participate in E&TC robotics competition, or E&TC's hackathon is another thing. I don't remember the name, but yeah. So they gave us different kind of resources. So they gave us a theme. This is you have to do. You have to build. You have to make a robot, which will be in simulation probably, and you have to make it. You have to program it to do different kind of things, different kind of activities. For me, it was a robotic arm. So whatever resources that they gave, it was good enough to get started. But whenever we tried to go ahead and get deeper into the competition, we faced many problems. So that's where I learned how to manage my time and self-learn efficiently. So yeah, that was probably to summarize, I learned how to get independent. Yeah.
Wow, that's so nice to listen, Akash, your journey. There's so much to speak about. There's so much passion that you're talking about. And everybody can feel that, we would learn so much from going outside, your networking, the kind of leadership qualities and everything that you developed over these years. I think you summarize it so well, and it was so fascinating to listen to your journey. Hope everyone gets to have a journey of that like that. Not similar, but maybe something so much that you have so much to talk about.
Yes.